Hey, it's Clay Trader. Welcome back to another episode of Stock Trading Quick Tips. In this episode, I'm going to talk about one of the biggest pet peeves that I have, and that is when stock traders are in a losing position, they've made a bad choice, but instead of cutting their losses, they fool themselves into thinking that everything's okay. Now, how do they do this? They use inspirational quotes, taking them out of context, and then they apply them to the situation that they're in, and it just goes from bad to worse to worse. So I want to talk about 3 quotes that are taken out of context, and then the 4th quote is just a disaster. It's actually from the financial industry. It's from the biggest name investor out there, but it is the worst quote ever possible. I mean, have I mentioned how bad this quote is? Anyways, let's first go over the first quote. If you can accept losing, you can't win. Vince Lombardi said this, very famous football coach, coach of Green Bay Packers when they won the first few Super Bowls. But think about this. If this is hanging on your computer on a sticky note and you're looking, no, if I accept losing, then I'm never going to win, or I can't win. Sometimes you have to accept losing as a trader. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to get in a bad trade. Sometimes you don't even make a mistake. It just doesn't work out for you. There's no system that's going to work 100% of the time. So you get in a trade, doesn't work out, and you need to accept losing. So stay away from this quote for sure. All right, so the next quote is this. Don't even mention losing to me. I can't even stand to think of it. And this comes from Bobby Fischer, very well-known, very good chess player. And within that context, I have no problem with it. As a chess player, where it's a game where there's a winner and a loser, fine. Have that sort of attitude, no problems at all. However, with trading, if you are not thinking about losing, then you're going to have a very serious problem on your hands, because losing does happen. So don't have this quote hanging next to your computer. You're going to need to think about losing. You're going to need to factor in losing into a strategy with stop losses, risk management, all that stuff. So mention losing to yourself, because it's all a part of trading. The next quote comes from Michael Jordan. I'm sure everybody has heard of him, one of the ultimate competitors out there. And the quote is this: I will not let anything get in the way of me and my competitive enthusiasm to win. Again, within basketball, within a sporting event, great quote. But that is the wrong context. Within trading, you need to accept that no matter how competitive you are, you're going to lose. That's part of the game. That's part of your system. That's just how things go. So you can be as competitive and enthusiastic to win as possible, but if that's hanging by your trade or by your computer as you're in a losing trade and it just keeps going down and down, but you're telling yourself, I'm competitive, I'm not going to lose, I want to win, I have great enthusiasm. Yeah, the stock market really doesn't care about your enthusiasm. Just cut your losers and move on. All right, and for the final quote, I wish I could say that I'm taking this out of context, but I'm not. It comes from Warren Buffett. I'm sure you've seen it before. I've seen it all the time on message boards, social media, any sort of outlet, chat rooms. But it is this. Rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1. Again, from Warren Buffett. What a disaster this quote is. I don't know how, even for an investor, maybe you're saying, well, Clay, yeah, that doesn't pertain to trading, but investors, it does. No, sometimes you're going to be in a bad investment, and you got to cut those losses too. So this quote is just, like I said, a travesty as far as I'm concerned. Now, to be fair to Mr. Buffett, I don't know the context of this quote. Maybe it's not meant to be how it sounds, but people are always taking it out of context. Like I said, I've seen it multiple times. You probably have too. But don't have this one hanging next to your computer as you trade and saying the rules are don't lose money. I know I'm in a losing position right now, but don't lose money. Don't lose money. That's just, it almost leaves me speechless, because it's such a bad quote for a trader, or really for anybody in the financial industry. Losses are going to happen. There's nobody that's perfect. Nobody bats 1,000. So just keep that in mind. As traders, as investors, you're going to lose. You're going to take losses, however you want to say it. So like I said, I'm speechless. That's a terrible quote. So just to wrap everything up, what I'm really getting at is don't take a sticky note, write down any of these quotes and hang it on your monitor and use these as your motivation. If anything, go out there and find quotes that deal with losing, deal with not winning all the time, and how you can better yourself and rise above losing situations. Those are the types of quotes you want around your computer monitor, around your trading station, whatever you're using. You want quotes that say losing's part of the game, losing happens, but still, keep at it. And have a good attitude and have a good view of the overall picture, because overall picture, keep your losses small, but let your winners, be the big scores for you. So just keep that all in mind. Very crucial concept. Don't be one of these traders that fools himself, plays a Jedi mind trick on themselves, oh, everything's going to be okay. You know, Warren Buffett says you should never lose money, so everything will turn out okay. You know, there's going to be rainbows and unicorns, little children running around, everything's going to be fine. No, it's not like that. Again, the stock market does not care about your feelings. If you enjoyed this video, I want you to do a couple things. First, click the like button down below. Second, subscribe to the YouTube channel. This will keep you up to date on the charts I'm analyzing, the quick tip videos as I release more, and also my live trades where you can watch me trade, win, lose, or draw, however the day unfolds. You'll see the trades, you'll see me take losses, you'll see me not sit there and quote these dumb quotes, but it's just a good view of how trading really is. Some videos are kind of boring because there's not much action. Other ones are a little bit more exciting. So subscribe to the channel and you'll be kept up to date on all these videos and everything else that's going on in the clay trader community. Thanks for watching, and remember, trade without emotion.